let's see what we can do now when it comes to the games, and this is strictly for investors. Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, who goes with that match?
Arsenal is going to win, and
Arsenal is straight win.
Goals.
It's straight win for Arsenal, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be, for me, I don't think that it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a straight win for Arsenal, so let's give that W there to Arsenal. Bournemouth are off against Brighton and Hove.
I say a straight draw here because I know Brighton will be riding on that wave that they defeated Manchester City, but Bournemouth as well.
For me, it's a 1.5, and for you
There'll
go.
be goals.
Okay,
I go with the draw.
All right, Crystal Palace against Sunderland. What are your thoughts there?
Sunderland they've also started not so bad in the Premier League, but I think Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace with Maguire, and after what happened, right?
Yeah, so they kept going. They kept their coach. I think they will get.
Okay, so put your score there. What are you putting for Crystal Palace?
W.
The W for Crystal Palace.
Yes.
Quite interesting. Everton will be up against Aston Villa. Everton are coming to play. Aston Villa are just trying to pick up after a bad start.
And Jack Grealish is chasing a record, for consecutive assists to do 2 assists, in 3 consecutive games.
Yeah.
I say 1.5.
A 1.5.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Let's all of that. Fulham will be up against Leeds.
2 teams that you can't really call, but there should be goals.
There should be goals, right?
Yes.
Okay. Newcastle, Wolverhampton Wanderers. Tolu Arokodare should make his debut
against Wissa.
Against
Voltemada.
Vissa is not going to play. Vissa is injured, Eddie Howe has mentioned that he's not going to play. So what are your thoughts for this particular one?
I think Newcastle should win. Newcastle should win. A straight win for Newcastle.
I'll say home or draw.
But I think Newcastle will win.
Home or draw, all right? Okay, yeah. West Ham United will be up against Tottenham Hotspur.
West Ham win.
Against Thomas Frank?
West Ham, they had a poor start to the season, but then they picked up points. I think West Ham should win against
West Ham should win that. Okay, yeah. All right. Let's see this one now. Let's take a look at the other matches that happen. Brentford will be up against Chelsea. Burnley will up against Liverpool, and Manchester City, of course, against Manchester United. Let's do Brentford Chelsea. That's at 8 o'clock this night to wrap up today.
Brentford they've lost their best players and also their manager. I think Chelsea will.
So we'll give a Chelsea win here, right?
Yes.
Okay, Burnley will be up against Liverpool.
Come on, that's a Liverpool win.
Now, this is what we're talking about. Manchester United up against Manchester City at home at the Etihad. What are your thoughts for this particular one?
Over 1.
1.5. Yes. We just want to make it safe. Can just want to go safe and just
over 2.5.
2.5.
Yes.
Make it a 2.5. Okay. All right. Well, that goes for that now. We're done with the EPL. Let's take a look at the La Liga. Take a look at some of the matches that are going to be happening here. Of course, the big one has to be Sociedad. I think it will be up against Real Madrid, and all of that. What are your thoughts? What are your thoughts for this one for the La Liga?
Well, I think Real Madrid should still do that because Sociedad they've also not had the best of starts in La Liga, and Real Madrid. We know that their game looks like a bit shaky at times, but then I think Real Madrid they're going to settle that one and negotiate Real Sociedad. It might not be easy at Anoeta, but I think Real Madrid are going to take the day. Okay,
let's take a look at. We also have Atletico up against Alaves, Real Sociedad, of course, like I mentioned, against Real Madrid, Getafe up against
Atletico Madrid against Villarreal.
What is wrong with Atletico Madrid? And all of that,
what is wrong with Atletico Madrid? I mean, with their attacking options, their signings as well, I think Simeone is trying to tell us that, hey, we are simply the defensive style.
They are performing very badly.
Against teams that you should be beating.
Against teams that you should be beating, exactly. You're very right. Against teams that you should be beating. Yeah. Okay? But then, Sevilla, of course, had that win against, it was not a win, it ended the 2-2 draw against Elche. Yes. Getafe, of course, like we mentioned, against Oviedo. And then we also have Atletico Deportivo Alaves. For this one, what happens here? Atletico versus Deportivo Alaves.
Atletico should win at the San Mames.
All right, Real Sociedad up against, okay, but mention that one. Atletico, Villarreal, Celta Vigo, Girona. You just give goals.
There should be goals. Yes.
You just give goals. This is not La Liga. Levante up against Real Betis, Osasuna against Rayo Vallecano. Barcelona is a straight win for them.
Speaking of Levante against Real Betis, the GOAT is back. Talking about Anthony for Real Betis.
Okoli.
No, it's the GOAT now. It's no longer the fidget spinner. It's the GOAT.
And then, of course, Barcelona up against Valencia. And, of course, wrap up weekend to be Espanyol against Mallorca. What are your thoughts for that particular one?
Goals.
You do?
Yeah,
you do goals for that particular one?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. Let's wrap up with Syria. Of course, it's been quite interesting when it comes to Syria as it is. Let's take a look at the fixtures, of course, for this one. This will be match day 3. Okay, let's look at all of them. There we have them here. Cagliari will be up against Parma, but let's start with this big one here. Juventus will be up against Inter by 5 o'clock today. Derby Italia. What are your thoughts for this particular one?
Yeah, for me, I think it's Jonathan David against Marcos Thuram. But I think Inter should take that because, but Juve, you never can tell the kind of Juve that will perform, that will come outside. But then they've made good signings. Luis Openda is with them now. They also have Jonathan David.
You might not be very sure. All right, but champions will be up against Fiorentina, of course, with the KDB in that side and the McTominay. I would go for goals or a Napoli win for this particular one.
Really well. For the investors, you can go for goals, but I will go for a Napoli win.
For a Napoli win. Roma will be up against Torino. Atalanta, is Ademola Lookman going to start?
It's not looking like it's not looking like he's
going to start.
He's not
he has not trained well. He has not trained enough with the team.
He's not started
really
well.
Looking like he's going to start. Pisa up against Udinese, Sassuolo will be up against Lazio. Milan will be against Bologna. Now this is big because of the Marseille rivalry. Both players. That's talking about
Rabiot and Jonathan Rowe.
But
Rabiot has come out to say. Rabiot has actually come out to say they have a good relationship now. But then I expect the fighting to continue.
All right.
But I think Milan will take it.
All right. Okay. All right. That's it. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you so much, Hafiz, for making it on the show this morning. I'll take on Cremonense and then Como will take on Genoa. That's how it's going to be for across Europe. Just stay with us. There'll be a lot across the week as it goes, of course. It's been a wonderful show. Thank you, Hafiz.